Welcome to GTA, the story behind the boxes, a series where we explore the history behind every physical release in the Grand Theft Auto franchise. In each episode, we'll take a closer look at the box, the contents inside, and the story behind that particular release. Today, in our first episode, we're diving into the original 1997 PC big box of Grand Theft Auto. Before it became one of the biggest franchises in gaming history, it was a struggling project called Race and Chase that almost never released, and the story behind this box involves a lucky bug, a controversial marketing campaign, and the beginning of the entire GTA franchise. In the 1990s, PC games were often sold in what collectors now call big box editions. Instead of the small plastic cases we're used to today, games came in large cardboard boxes like this one. The reason was simple: shelf presence. A bigger box stood out much more in a retail store. But these boxes weren't just for display. They usually contained extra materials that helped build the world of the game, like manuals, reference guides, and sometimes even large printed maps. This version of GTA was released in 1997 by BMG Interactive and developed by DMA Design, the studio that would later become Rockstar North. The cover art for the original Grand Theft Auto is very different from the illustrated collage covers the series later became famous for. Instead of artwork, this box uses what appears to be a real photograph of a New York street, shot from a dramatic low angle between towering skyscrapers. The building right in the center strongly resembles 40 Wall Street, often called the Trump Building, which is owned by Donald Trump. That New York imagery is important because the first city in the game, Liberty City, was heavily inspired by Manhattan. At the bottom of the cover, you can also see a police car chasing a speeding vehicle through traffic, which perfectly captures the chaotic street action the game became known for. But the most interesting story connected to this box is the story of the game itself. During development at DMA Design, the project was originally called Race and Chase. The idea was that players could either take the role of the police or play as criminals in a city-based racing game. The project was led by David Jones, the same designer who previously created the hit puzzle game Lemmings. But during testing, something unexpected happened. A bug in the police AI caused police cars to behave far more aggressively than intended. Instead of calmly chasing the player, they began ramming vehicles and causing chaos in the streets. Surprisingly, the testers loved it. Instead of fixing the bug, the developers leaned into the chaos and redesigned the game around that idea. The focus shifted from racing to committing crimes and escaping the police. That decision ultimately transformed Race and Chase into Grand Theft Auto. Now that we've looked at the story behind the game, let's take a look at what actually came inside this 1997 big box. After opening the box, we reveal two massive double-sided poster maps. The first map features a stunning piece of promotional art on one side, a high-contrast noir-inspired illustration of a woman on a red rotary phone and a stylized getaway car against a city skyline. This was the vibe of GTA before the 3D era, Pulp Fiction meets arcade chaos. When we flip this first poster over, we get our first look at the layout for Vice City. It's fascinating to see this early top-down interpretation of the city, long before the neon-soaked 80s aesthetic of the PlayStation 2. The second poster is just as impressive. On one side, we have the map for Liberty City. Looking at this grid, you can see the early foundations of what would eventually become the setting for GTA 3 and 4. Flipping that second poster over brings us to San Andreas. Unlike the massive state we explored in 2004, the original San Andreas was a single, tightly packed city inspired by San Francisco. Holding these physical maps reminds you that back then, the world of the game existed as much on your desk as it did on your monitor. Next in the box, we have the registration card. This was something you used to see in almost every PC game back in the day. The idea was that you would fill out your details and mail it to the publisher so they could register your copy of the game. Of course, most people probably never actually sent these in, but it's still a really cool piece of nostalgia to see included. Then we have the game's jewel case. Let's open it up. Inside, we can see the manual and the disc. Taking the manual out of the jewel case can sometimes damage it because the plastic pins hold it very tightly. I'll use my extra copy to show the manual. Like many PC manuals from that era, it includes the basic controls, explanations of the gameplay mechanics, and some background information about the game's world and how the missions work. At the back of the manual, we have a legal-style explanation of the crime of Grand Theft Auto. And finally, we reach the disc itself, a striking, saturated red design that features artwork based on the cover of the box. And that's the 1997 big box release of Grand Theft Auto for PC. It's a great snapshot of how PC games were packaged in the late 90s, long before digital downloads replaced shelves full of big boxes. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the original 1997 PC release of Grand Theft Auto and the story behind it, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of GTA, the story behind the boxes. And tell me in the comments which GTA physical release you'd like to see next, because there are a lot of interesting boxes to explore. Until then, stay safe, keep GTAing, and I'll see you in the next one.